Have you ever seen yourself sleeping? I did. I saw my own body breathing, eyes wide open. And that's when I realized whatever was inside that body wasn't me. It all started 3 nights ago. The power had gone out, and my room was swallowed by darkness. I lit a candle and sat on my bed, scrolling through old pictures on my phone. The silence felt strange, heavy, as if the house itself was holding its breath. Outside, the wind pressed against the windows, whispering faintly through the cracks. Then I heard it. My own voice. It wasn't an echo or a dream. It was me whispering my name. Sarah. My phone slipped from my hand. The candle flame trembled, throwing strange shadows on the wall. I wanted to believe it was my imagination, but the voice came again, clearer this time. Sarah, look at me. Slowly, I turned my head toward the mirror, and I saw myself lying on the bed behind me. My eyes were open, staring right at me. A faint, lifeless smile on my face. My heartbeat stopped. The reflection blinked, but I didn't. I whispered, "This isn't real." But then my reflection tilted its head. It moved before I did. And in that moment, the candle went out. I was trapped in the dark, staring into nothing. Yet I could still see that smile. That impossible, frozen smile. That's when I realized I wasn't inside my body anymore. But if I wasn't in my body, then who or what was? I couldn't breathe. My chest felt heavy, as if invisible hands were pressing against me. The darkness around me wasn't empty, it was alive. I could feel it move, curling around my skin, whispering against my ears. My voice wouldn't come out. I tried to scream, but nothing happened. I turned toward the bed again. My body was still there, motionless, but that faint smile had grown wider. My own face stared at me as if mocking me. The eyes weren't mine anymore. They were darker, colder, like something ancient was looking through them. I stepped closer, trembling. My reflection followed, perfectly in sync this. But I was no longer in the mirror. I was the reflection. The realization hit me like ice. My hands weren't mine, they were pale, transparent, fading. My heartbeat echoed faintly somewhere far away, like it belonged to another world. I whispered, "Please stop." And then my body, the one on the bed, moved. It sat up slowly, the neck cracking, eyes still fixed on me. "You shouldn't have looked," it said. The voice was mine, but deeper, colder, filled with something inhuman. I stumbled backward, knocking over the candle. The wax spilled across the floor, glowing faintly even without flame. The smell of burnt air filled the room. I felt something behind me, breathing. When I turned, there was nothing, just darkness that seemed to smile. My body stood up completely now. It walked toward me, step by step, calm, confident, like it had done this before. I wanted to run, but my legs were frozen. The thing that looked like me whispered one last time, "It's my turn now." And then it moved closer, until its face was inches from mine. I felt its cold breath. And then, everything went silent. But silence was worse than death. When I opened my eyes again, it was morning. Or at least it looked like morning. Sunlight poured through the curtains, soft and golden, but everything felt wrong. The air was too still. The sounds of the city, the dogs, the cars, the faint hum of life were gone. I sat up slowly, trembling. My bed was empty. My body was gone. The candle wax was still on the floor, hardened into strange shapes. For a moment I thought it had all been a dream, until I saw the mirror. The glass was cracked, not from outside but from the inside. My reflection stood perfectly still, smiling while I moved. My heart dropped. I lifted my hand, but the reflection didn't follow. It blinked. I whispered, "Who are you?" It didn't answer. It just smiled wider, until I saw something move behind it. Something shadowy, crawling across the walls of the reflection's world. I stepped back, shaking. Then my phone buzzed on the table. I grabbed it, desperate for something normal. The screen flickered. One new message. It was from my number. The text said, "You shouldn't be awake." The phone fell from my hand. When I looked up, my reflection had disappeared. The mirror showed only darkness now, deep and endless. I wanted to run, but the floor beneath me felt soft, almost breathing. I took one step back, and the lights flickered. For a split second, I saw my reflection again, standing behind me this time, whispering words I couldn't hear. I turned fast, but nothing was there. Just my shadow on the wall. Except it wasn't still. It waved at me. My chest tightened, my body trembling as a cold realization sank in. That shadow wasn't mine anymore, and it was moving closer. I stumbled backward, my heart hammering like it was trying to escape my chest. The shadow on the wall stretched, twisting into shapes I didn't recognize. It wasn't copying me anymore. It was reaching for me. I pressed my back against the door, fumbling for the handle, but the knob felt ice cold, almost alive. My hand slipped. I pulled harder, but the door wouldn't open. It was like the wood itself was breathing, pulsing faintly under my palm. I could hear faint laughter now, soft, childlike, coming from behind the mirror. I turned toward it, terrified. The cracks on the glass had grown wider, webbing across the surface like veins. From inside the mirror I saw movement. Shadows pacing, whispering, as if something was waiting for permission to come through. My phone buzzed again. Another message from my own number. Stop fighting it. I threw the phone across the room. The screen shattered, and the sound echoed unnaturally long, like the house itself was mocking me. I screamed, but the sound came out distorted, like it wasn't mine. I clutched my head, desperate to wake up, to breathe, to feel normal again. But then I heard footsteps. Slow, heavy, coming from the hallway. I turned toward the sound, holding my breath. The footsteps stopped right outside the door. I whispered, "Who's there?" No answer. Just a slow scraping sound, like nails dragging across the wood. My eyes filled with tears as the handle started to turn on its own. My pulse went wild. The door creaked open an inch, and the air turned freezing cold. Through the gap I saw a familiar face, my own, but pale, lifeless, smiling. I whispered, "No, that's not me." But the other me whispered back, "Yes, it is." And then it pushed the door open. The door opened slowly, the hinges crying out like they were alive. My body, no, the thing wearing my face, stood in the doorway, motionless. Its eyes were hollow, but the smile remained. Perfect, dead smile. I stumbled back until I hit the wall, every instinct screaming to run, but my legs refused to move. The air around it shimmered, bending like heat. I whispered, "What do you want?" It tilted its head, watching me the way a predator watches prey. Then, without moving its lips, I heard my own voice inside my head. "You left me," it said. "You wanted to escape yourself, so I took your place." My breathing grew ragged. I shook my head. "You're not real." The figure stepped closer. "You wished to disappear." I listened. I pressed my hands to my ears, but the voice grew louder, echoing from inside my skull. I could smell something burning: wax, hair, skin. My vision blurred. The candle that had gone out earlier flickered again, but there was no flame. The light was coming from inside the mirror, bright and pulsing like a heartbeat. The other me turned toward it, smiling wider, and whispered, "It's open now." A cold wind burst through the room. Papers flew. My hair whipped across my face. From the mirror came faint whispers, hundreds of them, calling my name. "Sarah! Sarah!" My reflection reached out its hand toward the glass. The surface rippled like water. I screamed, "Stop!" But it didn't. Its hand vanished into the mirror, followed by its arm, its shoulder, until half its body was gone. I backed away, tears streaming down my face. But before I could blink, another hand reached out from inside the glass and grabbed my wrist. It was cold, too real, and it pulled. I screamed, but the sound vanished into the air, swallowed by something unseen. The mirror's surface rippled violently as the cold hand tightened its grip around my wrist. I tried to pull away, digging my nails into my skin, but it only dragged me closer. The reflection, my other self, watched me with hollow delight. "You shouldn't have woken up," it whispered, the words vibrating through the glass like thunder. My heart pounded so hard it hurt. My fingers slipped, and suddenly my arm was inside the mirror. The sensation was indescribable, cold, wet, and endless. I could see shapes moving within the glass, pale faces watching, whispering my name in unison. I screamed again, but this time my reflection screamed too, mirroring me perfectly. The two voices blended until I couldn't tell which one was mine. Then, without warning, the glass cracked. The sound pierced the air, sharp and final. The grip on my wrist released, and I stumbled backward, clutching my arm. My skin was covered in frost. The candle fell, rolling under the bed. The room flickered between light and shadow, like reality itself was stuttering. I crawled toward the door, desperate to get out, But the house no longer looked like my house. The walls were covered in handprints, hundreds of them, black, smudged, and small. The laughter came again, louder this time, echoing from every direction. "You're almost home," it said in my voice. I pressed my ear against the door. Silence. Then a faint whisper from the other side. "Come back inside, Sarah." My hand shook as I turned the handle. The door creaked open slowly, revealing darkness. But deep within it I saw something move. A faint light. A shadow walking toward me. And then I realized whatever it was humming my lullaby. The lullaby froze me. It was the same tune my mother used to sing when I was little, the one I hadn't heard since the night she died. The sound was soft, almost gentle, echoing from that endless dark. I whispered, "Mom!" My voice cracked. The humming stopped. Then in that same calm rhythm, I heard a voice answer, my mother's voice. "You shouldn't have looked, Sarah." My heart lurched. I stumbled back, clutching the doorframe. "Mom, where are you?" I called out, tears filling my eyes. The shadow in the hallway moved closer, and for a second I saw her face, familiar, loving, but wrong. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. They were empty, just black voids. "Mom!" I whispered again. She tilted her head, studying me the same way my reflection had. Then softly she said, "It's not your turn anymore." Before I could react, her form began to twitch, jerking violently, her bones cracking one by one as her face melted into something unrecognizable. I screamed, slamming the door shut. The impact shook the walls, dust raining down from the ceiling. My phone buzzed again. I hesitated, then picked it up with trembling hands. A new message. No number. Just 3 words glowing on the screen. "Let me in." I dropped the phone. The walls around me began to pulse, breathing like the house itself was alive. Every window went black. My reflection appeared on the glass of the TV, the mirror, even the metal of the doorknob, everywhere. Each reflection smiled in perfect sync. I backed away, shaking, whispering, "This isn't real." But they all whispered back together, "It is now." My knees gave way as the lights flickered and every reflection turned its head at the same time, staring directly at me. And then they all blinked. I squeezed my eyes shut, but even in the darkness behind my eyelids, I could still see them, those reflections blinking in perfect rhythm. My head throbbed with their whispers. "Come back, Sarah, you don't belong there." My breathing grew shallow, my body trembling. When I opened my eyes again, the room had changed. The candle was gone, the mirror was gone, everything was gone. I stood in an empty hallway that seemed to stretch forever, with walls the color of ash. The air was thick, heavy, almost liquid. I could hear footsteps, soft, bare feet on the floor, but not mine. I turned around, but there was no one. The whisper came again, right beside my ear. "You left the door open." I spun around, heart pounding, but all I saw was the hallway twisting, bending like it was alive. I started to run, but the floor tilted beneath me, pulling me backward. My body felt weightless, my screams echoing endlessly as the hallway stretched into darkness. Suddenly, everything stopped. I was back in my bedroom, but it wasn't my bedroom. The colors were wrong. The pictures on the wall showed faces I didn't recognize. My phone sat on the bed, screen glowing. A video was playing. My hand shook as I picked it up. The video showed me sleeping, peacefully, breathing slowly. I watched frozen as the version of me in the video opened her eyes and looked straight into the camera. Her lips moved, forming words I couldn't hear. I turned up the volume. The static cleared and I finally heard it. My own voice whispering from the screen. "I told you not to wake up." The phone screen flickered, showing my reflection for just 1 second, smiling before it went black. And behind me someone whispered, "Too late." I froze. The voice behind me was so close I could feel its breath on my neck. Slowly I turned around. No one was there. The air felt thick, humming faintly like electricity, and my heartbeat echoed through the room. I whispered, "Who's there?" The silence that followed was worse than any answer. Then faintly I heard it again, a second of laughter, low and familiar. My own. I spun toward the mirror, but it was gone. In its place, the wall was covered in photographs. Hundreds of them. My hair in different positions, my clothes changing from night to night. Some of the photos showed me with my eyes open. My stomach twisted as I stepped closer. The last photo, pinned in the center, was different. It showed me standing exactly where I was right now, staring at the wall of pictures. My hands began to shake uncontrollably. I backed away, whispering, "No, this isn't real." But when I turned, the room was filled with sound, the click of a camera. I whipped my head toward the bed. My phone was standing upright, recording. On its screen, I saw myself standing in front of the wall of photos just like in the picture. But this time, my reflection on the screen wasn't copying me. It lifted its hand, smiled, and waved. "Stop it!" I screamed. I grabbed the phone and threw it against the wall. It shattered, yet the clicking sound didn't stop. Cameras I couldn't see kept snapping pictures in the dark. My pulse quickened. My skin felt cold and wet. The lights flickered once more. And then all the photographs turned at once, facing me. My face stared back from every direction, whispering the same words over and over. "Wake up, Sarah. Please wake up." The whispers grew louder, each voice overlapping until it sounded like a storm trapped inside my skull. I pressed my hands over my ears, but it didn't help. The sound wasn't coming from outside anymore. It was inside me. I screamed, "I am awake!" And suddenly everything stopped. Silence. The air hung still, heavy with something that felt like waiting. Slowly I looked up. The photographs were gone. In their place was a single mirror, taller than before, stretching from floor to ceiling. My reflection stood inside it, motionless. Its eyes were hollow black holes, but I could feel it watching me. I whispered, "What do you want?" My reflection tilted its head. The glass rippled, and a soft hum filled the room. "You," it said. The voice came from everywhere and nowhere. I took a step back, but the reflection stepped forward. The surface of the glass began to melt, like liquid silver. My reflection pushed its hand through the glass, stretching like skin. I froze, unable to breathe. It reached toward my face, fingertips cold as death brushing my cheek. My vision blurred. I couldn't tell if I was shaking or if the world was. "Let go," it whispered. "You were never supposed to wake up." My head spun, memories flashing, hospital lights, voices shouting, the smell of disinfectant. A faint heartbeat monitor beeped in my ears. "No," I whispered. "That's not real." The reflection smiled. "Isn't it?" I stumbled backward, crashing into the dresser. The lamp fell and shattered, plunging the room into darkness. I could still see its face glowing faintly in the black, eyes empty, smile wide. "Wake up, Sarah," it whispered again, voice overlapping with my own. "Or I'll take your place for good." And then the glass cracked, once like a heartbeat stopping. The sound of the glass cracking echoed through the room like thunder. I froze, waiting for it to stop, but it didn't. The mirror kept cracking, piece by piece, until it looked like a web made of light. Behind the fractures, I saw something moving. Shadows. Dozens of them. They pressed against the glass, whispering my name. I stepped back, shaking my head. No, stay away from me." The cracks spread faster, the voices growing louder, desperate. "Wake up, Sarah. Let us in." I grabbed the nearest object, a piece of the broken lamp, and threw it at the mirror. It shattered completely, exploding into 1,000 shards. For a moment, everything went silent. Then, one by one, the fragments began to glow. I stared, terrified, as each shard reflected a different version of me. Some were crying, others screaming, a few smiling. One stood perfectly still, staring right into my eyes. "You can't destroy what's already broken," she said from inside the glass. My chest tightened. I couldn't move. Shards started to tremble, lifting off the floor, floating in the air around me. Each one whispered the same thing. "Wake up." The air turned cold, burning my lungs. The world flickered between the room and something else, a hospital room. I saw tubes, machines, white light, and a woman lying still on a bed. My heart stopped when I recognized her face. It was me. The sound of the monitor flatlined. The reflections screamed in unison, shattering the air around me. I fell to my knees, clutching my head, sobbing. The light dimmed until only one shard remained, hovering before me. My reflection inside it smiled softly and whispered, "It's time to come home, Sarah." And before I could move, it flew straight into my chest. I gasped as the shard sank into my chest. It felt like ice and fire all at once, burning through my skin and into my heart. I screamed, clutching my chest, but there was no blood, only light pulsing beneath my skin like veins made of glass. The room flickered again, fading between my bedroom and the hospital. I could hear voices now, doctors shouting, machines beeping, a woman crying. I turned my head and saw her through the haze. My mother. She was holding my hand, sobbing. "Please, Sarah, wake up." My heart twisted. I tried to move to reach her, but my body felt anchored to the floor. The whispers returned, louder than before. "You don't belong there anymore," they said. The air shimmered and my reflection appeared again in front of me, calm and smiling. "She's been waiting too long," it said softly. "You chose this." I shook my head, tears blurring my vision. "I didn't choose any of this." My reflection stepped closer. "You wanted peace. You wanted silence. So I gave it to you." It raised its hand, pressing its palm against my chest where the light still glowed. The pain vanished. For a moment I felt calm, too calm. My heartbeat slowed, matching the rhythm of the flatline echoing in the background. I looked around. The walls were fading, peeling away into endless white light. My reflection leaned close, whispering, "Let go, Sarah. It's easier this way." I could barely breathe. My voice came out as a whisper. "Am I dead?" The reflection smiled, eyes glowing faintly. "Not yet," it said. "But you're almost home." Then everything went silent, the hospital, the house, even my thoughts. The last sound I heard was my mother's voice crying, "Don't leave me, Sarah." And then nothing. Nothing. Just endless white. No walls, no floor, no sound, only emptiness. I floated, weightless, my body numb, my mind echoing with distant voices I couldn't place. For a moment I thought it was peace. Then I heard it, the faint humming. That same lullaby. The one that always came before everything went wrong. I turned slowly, though there was no direction, only light. Far in the distance I saw a figure walking toward me. Bare feet. Long hair. The sound of humming grew louder. I whispered, "Mom!" But as the figure came closer, I realized it wasn't her. It was me. My face pale and cracked like porcelain. My lips were stitched shut, yet the humming still came. I tried to move back, but there was nowhere to go. The air thickened. Cracks appeared in the white light, spreading like fractures through glass. Through them I saw flashes, my bedroom, the mirror, my body lying still. "This isn't real," I whispered. The other me tilted her head, and the humming stopped. "It's as real as you wanted it to be," she said, though her mouth never moved. "You kept running from the truth." I shook my head, trembling. "What truth?" She raised her hand, pointing at the cracks. "You died, Sarah." The words hit like a knife. I staggered. "No, I was just dreaming." Her eyes glowed faintly. "You've been dreaming for 3 years." The light around us flickered, revealing shapes behind her. Dozens of faces, all versions of me, twisted and broken. "We tried to wake you," they whispered together. "But you kept closing your eyes." I screamed, covering my ears, but their voices only grew louder, filling the white void. "You're not lost," they said in unison. "You're home." And then the white light shattered like glass. When the light shattered, I fell. Down, down, through a darkness that felt alive. The wind screamed around me, but it wasn't air. It was voices, whispering fragments of my name, my memories, my fears. I hit the ground hard, gasping, and looked around. I was back in my bedroom. Everything looked exactly as it had before, except different. The colors were wrong. The air felt heavy, thick, and the shadows on the walls moved even when I didn't. My phone was lying beside the bed, screen glowing faintly. One notification blinked. "Missed call, Mom." My hand shook as I picked it up. The call came through again, the phone vibrating in my hand. Against every instinct I answered. "Hello." For a moment there was only static. Then I heard breathing. Slow, uneven, familiar. "Sarah." It was my mother's voice, trembling, desperate. "Please, you have to wake up. They said you're gone, but I can feel you here. Please come back." My throat closed. "Mom, I'm here," I cried. "I'm right here." But the voice didn't answer me. She just kept saying, "Please open your eyes." Her voice faded, replaced by another sound, my own laughter, echoing faintly through the room. The call ended abruptly. The screen showed my reflection again, smiling faintly, blood trickling from its mouth. "She can't hear you," it whispered. "You're too deep." I dropped the phone, stumbling backward. My reflection in the dark TV screen began to move again, crawling closer, pressing its hands against the inside of the glass. "You can't leave now," it said softly. "You've already crossed." I shook my head, screaming, "No!" The reflection grinned wider. "You should have listened, Sarah. You should have stayed asleep." And then its hand broke through the screen, grabbing mine. The hand that grabbed me was ice cold, solid, and real. I screamed, trying to pull back, but it tightened its grip, dragging me toward the screen. The glass rippled like water, the edges slicing into my skin. Blood smeared the surface, yet it didn't stop pulling. My reflection's grin widened unnaturally, stretching across its face. "It's time," it whispered. "You've hidden long enough." I clawed at the floor, my nails breaking as I tried to resist, but it was useless. The reflection yanked harder, and suddenly my arm was halfway through the screen. I felt something crawling beneath my skin, cold, sharp, like shards of glass moving through my veins. I screamed louder, but no sound came out. The entire room began to twist, the walls folding inward, the furniture melting like wax. The lights flickered violently, and in one blinding flash, I was pulled completely through. The world went black. When my vision returned, I was standing inside the screen. My room was on the other side now, empty, still, my body lying motionless on the bed. My reflection stood next to me, smiling gently. "See," it said. "You were never alive in that world. You were the echo." My breath trembled. "No, that's me." It shook its head slowly. "Not anymore." It leaned close, whispering in my ear, "You died the night you looked into the mirror and saw yourself awake." I stumbled back, hitting invisible glass. I could see my mother entering the room, calling my name, shaking the body on the bed. I pounded on the glass, screaming, but she couldn't hear me. My reflection turned toward her, now wearing my smile. "She's fine," it said in my voice. My mother sobbed, holding it close, and I watched, trapped inside my own reflection, as it replaced me completely. Days, weeks, maybe years passed, I couldn't tell anymore. Time didn't exist inside the glass. I screamed until my throat bled, but no one ever heard me. My world was just reflections, endless mirrors, all showing pieces of what I used to be. Sometimes I saw my mother crying. Sometimes I saw strangers walking past my face, glancing at their reflections, unaware I was trapped behind them. But the worst moments were when I saw her, it living my life. Laughing, smiling, breathing. My friends visited, my mother healed, the world moved on. And I stayed here watching, waiting. Every night when the lights went out, it would look into the nearest mirror, smirk slightly and whisper, "Good night, Sarah." That's how I knew it still remembered me. I tried to hate it, but the truth was it was me, or what was left of me. Then one night I saw something new. My mother had moved the mirror to the attic, covering it with a sheet. But before she left, she paused, turning toward it, whispering softly, "Sometimes, I still feel her here." And for the first time in forever, I saw her reflection look directly at me. She smiled faintly and said, "Come home, Sarah." I reached out, pressing my hand to the glass, and for the briefest moment it was warm. The lights flickered. A heartbeat echoed. Felt it again. Real. Human. Alive. Then darkness. Now, if you ever look into a mirror late at night and see something behind your eyes watching, don't blink. Don't look away. Because if you do, I might finally find my way out. If this story sent chills down your spine, subscribe to Grandma's Truth, where nightmares never end.